This is the plaintiff, Robert Leidenfrost. He says he stored a lot of his personal belongings in the defendant's garage, paid rent to store them there, and one day he came to check on the things and saw all his stuff in a dumpster. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, is very angry, and needs to be compensated for his losses. So he's suing for $1,578. These are the defendants, Henry Fernot and Wayne Freestone. They say they told the plaintiff numerous times to remove all of his belongings because the property had been sold. The plaintiff took some of his stuff but left behind all the junk. With the property closing looming, they had no choice but to throw his garbage out, and that's just what they did. They're accused of tossing treasures.
Okay, Robert Leidenfrost? Yes. Okay, you're suing Henry Fernot and Wayne Freestone for $1,578 in damages for items that you say the two of them threw out of a garage you were renting from Mr. Fernot. Tell me what's going on.
I was renting a garage for storage.
How much were you paying?
$100 a month.
And how long had you been renting it?
A couple of years.
And
maybe.
how did you two know each other?
I built his parents' house. His mother and his brother both worked for me for over 10 years.
Oh, wow. You knew each other for a long time.
I knew him from day one.
Of his life?
All his life.
Okay, so go ahead.
And I found out I don't really know him now.
Okay. All right, so you're renting the garage, and what happens?
He called me from California saying he's got a buyer for the house, and he gave me a date to remove the belongings.
What date did he give you?
He told me to get it out by the 25th. I said I will be out, but I had trouble getting out, and I said I wanted to get out a lot sooner because I didn't feel comfortable working there. There was a problem with the tenant that he had there. They were a problem tenant, and he spent a lot of money in legal fees fighting them all the time.
To evict them?
Yes.
Okay, so the closing was postponed, I guess, and he couldn't quite get them out, so in the meantime, you kept renting the place.
Right.
All right, now what kinds of things were you storing?
Some collectible stuff, Tiffany-style lamps. I bought a lumber company years ago, and I had some special millwork in there that I was keeping because I wanted to
Okay, what do you do with that stuff? Do you sell it?
Some
to
of
antique stores, or what do you do?
Well, the stuff I had there I was keeping because there was some old...
okay, so what was bringing you there so often that you would say, I can't work there? Like, I'm just curious.
Well, when I say can't work there, I was trying to get the stuff out before.
Oh, and you were running into problems with these people while getting the stuff out?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
They had a couple of big, heavy doors.
So were you able to get part of the stuff out before the 25th?
Almost all of it, except one load.
Okay.
When I went to take the last load out, the police were there. There was a lot of commotion.
What day did you go back to get the last load out?
On the 25th.
On the 25th. And the police are there, and there's a bunch of commotion.
And I did that for the last load. And when I went there, I went to Hank and I went to Wayne. And I said, I can't get into the garage. You got all this commotion here and all this fireworks going on. I said, I'll be back in an hour. I came back in an hour. That was 4 o'clock. Everything was thrown in the dumpster with more stuff thrown on top that didn't belong to me. Tiffany-style lamps thrown in, and I got pictures to throw.
Yeah, let me see the pictures.
They just crushed them.
What happened?
My version?
Yeah.
I told Mr. Leidenfrost in February of 2008, you must empty the shed. We have a closing coming in, and we need it out. The judge finally signed the order to evict the tenant, and the constable came, locked the doors on the house, put a sign on it, and I get a call from Wayne saying they were evicted.
What is Wayne in all this picture?
Wayne rents the building next door, and I know him.
So you're his landlord?
I'm his landlord.
And you're also friends?
Since he rented. I didn't know him before.
Okay. So Wayne tells you?
Wayne tells me that they evicted the people from the first floor, but somehow the people thought they could move into the two-car garage. I called the constable. The constable came there and said, my attorney made the paperwork incorrectly. He evicted him from the first floor. Didn't say anything about the garage.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. There's no common sense. Are you serious?
I swear to God. That's what the
You've
constable...
got to be kidding me.
That's what the constable told me. So I went to the town hall, and I got the building department and the health inspector and the police chief. They came there. That's when he saw all the cars.
Yeah.
Because they said you can't inhabit the garage. You can't do it. So they made
You're
him...
lucky you were able to get up. Most people wouldn't be able to motivate all that. Everybody else would have to just go to court and sit down for another 2 months. All right, so go on.
I was born and raised in the town, so they all
Good
knew
for
me.
you. More power to you. So the police chief, the mayor, everybody's out there, and they're trying to get these people out of the
Well, they did.
squatters
They
out
made
of the
them
garage.
leave, and they took whatever they wanted and left everything else. And finally, they give me permission, whatever he takes by noon, the rest, whatever you want to do it. I call and I get a dumpster delivered there on the 24th.
Okay.
His stuff is still in.
His stuff being the plaintiff stuff.
The plaintiff's
Okay. Plaintiff
valuables are still in the shed. Now, we remove everything from the garage, from the house, and Bob stops there and says, I'll be right back.
This is on what day?
On the 24th.
On the 24th, when you rented the dumpster. Okay.
Rented the dumpster.
Okay.
He did not get back there by 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, we emptied the shed. When I say we, Wayne, I had a laborer and myself, and we took everything out of the shed and we put it in the dumpster.
If the tenant doesn't pick the stuff up in the day he's supposed to, can the landlord throw the stuff out?
Oh, absolutely. If you gave him enough warning, I mean, not like 2 or 3 days, but if you gave him 30 days, I think that'd be more than enough time.
But if you give the day you're supposed to show up, if you don't, excuse me, large dog, if you don't, can the landlord throw your junk out?
Yes.
That's pretty harsh.
Yes.
Going inside the courtroom.
The problem is that you've got a responsibility you can't really call it abandoned on day one. Like if you're a landlord and the tenant leaves stuff behind, you can't just throw it out the day that the marshals come. You actually have to wait a certain period of time. As absurd as that may sound, there's a certain amount of time you have to wait before it's considered abandoned. If it had been the tenant, all right, and the tenant left their bed, you couldn't throw out their bed the day they're supposed to. I know that you feel you should be able to, and maybe you should, but you can't. That's not the law. You have to wait a reasonable amount of time before you can consider it abandoned. I know it seems unfair, but that's how it is. Now, you've got a lawsuit for $1,500. How the heck are you going to prove that this stuff is worth $1,500?
Your Honor, I have an itemized list here.
Yeah, I know. Besides your flapping gums, how are you going to prove it, though? You know what I mean? Because you could just say it's worth $1 million. How is it you're going to prove what it's worth?
Look at the pictures. And to give you an example, there was mahogany balusters. There was 200 of them.
First of all, I'm looking at them in a plastic bag in the dumpster. Why didn't you just take those out?
He ordered me off the property.
What ended up happening to those? Those all got dumped?
Yeah.
There were.
Why didn't you, just out of curiosity, why didn't you give him a chance to just take the stuff out of the dumpster?
Your Honor, he came there and he started to throw everything out. And now he was making another mess.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't have time to clean up another mess.
These
Can I just tell you something? I don't blame you as a businessman for handling it the way you did. There's a cost associated with it, but I don't blame you for just wanting to cut your
I couldn't take any more that day.
I know. I don't blame you.
Your Honor,
Do you have any receipts for anything?
the pictures and the itemized bill.
Do you have any receipts for anything? I'm going to take it that the fact that you didn't answer the third time I asked you that question, I'm going to take it that that's a no. Okay.
Your Honor,
Stop talking, we're done. This is the part of the People's Court where we do a little rough justice, okay? First of all, I'm dismissing Mr. Freestone from the case entirely. If he was involved in this case, he was involved in this case at the behest of someone whose property he manages, and so, therefore, he's not the one who you should be suing. As for your lawsuit against Mr. Furneaux, I do find in your favor, not in the amount that you're asking for, but in the amount of $500 verdict for the plaintiff.
Just hold on right there. The laws vary from state to state on this, but landlords usually have to wait a reasonable amount of time before they can discard the possessions of a tenant who moves out.